Alright, so we're back. I'm just gonna, I don't know what fucking order these things are on. I don't know why I keep on behaving as if I'm talking to somebody, but I guess it just makes me feel better. Yeah. I guess it just makes me feel better. Feeling. No. Rephrase that. So, when it comes to magical operation of any kind, when it comes to this type of work, it's really important to. embody. Do I got peanut butter on my face? I feel like I got peanut butter on my face. I just had a peanut butter and jelly. It's my favorite sandwich. One of my favorite sandwiches. One of the most important aspects of any kind of magical operation, and that goes for, we're talking like law of attraction type of stuff, manifesting, witchcraft, magic, but even miracles as well, because we got to understand, a lot of people, some people will say that you fuck with law of attraction, you're dealing with some devil shit, some satanic stuff, because it's denying the power of God. Then you got others who say that manifestation, the law of attraction, is God. I stand right in the middle. I go, yeah, you're both right. But I also come from the school of thought that Satan, the entity that we think of when I say Satan, is the same entity that we think of when I say God, right? Because we're putting human characteristics on here. Did you ever read Dante's Inferno? I love Dante's Inferno. It's actually one of like the fucking best books I've ever read. It's difficult. It's hard. It probably took me close to 10 years to finally be able to make sense of it. Because it's just the way it's written. It's really difficult. And I had to use, I had read a copy of it that had like a New English translation at the beginning of every chapter. I say chapter. I had like a brief summary of what was going on, just in case the reader had a hard time making sense of the Old English language. Because it can really fuck with your head, but that acted as a really good what's the word I'm looking for? It acted as a good summary. Oh man, come on, motherfucker. It was a good summary because reading the translation of it, the very brief summary of what was going on in the chapter. What it did was, it at least left an image in my head, so that once I was reading through the Old English version, I at least had an image to go off of. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. I mean, I did experiment a couple times to read it to read the summary afterwards. So then, alright, just to kind of see if I can figure it out in my head, and then I would go back and then read the summary to see if I did a good job. But I ain't gonna lie, that motherfucker's hard to read. I actually just started reading Paradise Lost, John Milton's Paradise Lost, in September. Which was perfectly timed too. whole sequence of events that led up to me reading it was just like fucking awesome. And that night, everything that happened during that day, that was like one of the most magical days ever. Oh, today's gonna be the most magical day ever. I forgot about that. I have an alarm that goes off. So I used to have this alarm that goes off. I set it back in November, late October, early November. And what it would say every morning at around 9 o'clock, it would say, today's gonna be the hardest day ever. What the fuck would you want that for? Because adversity, I love adversity. I love stress. I love anything that's difficult. I love a challenge. And, oh, hello. And, because I have a personal motto that my best days are disguised as my worst days. So if I can make it through what feels like my worst day, all I have to do is just brain fuck it a little bit, do some overthinking, and I can figure out why that quote worst day was actually my best day. Because everything happens for a reason. It's just a matter of putting enough time and mental energy into it to figure out exactly what the reason was, and how it relates not only to everything that led up to that moment, but how it can evolve into the future. You gotta do some, you gotta be able to think out in advance also. Like, where can this lead me? Like right now, right, we're doing this. At the moment, if you were to look at my YouTube channel, right? If you were to look at it, there's only like 22 subscribers. I don't know where most of them came from. Hey, for me, that's a lot. What the fuck is this bullshit? Most of my videos average about 0 views, maybe 1. It's fine. I don't really do this for people to watch it. Why do you do it at all? See, it's funny. Somebody asked me that once on my Facebook page, because I do a lot of writing. I write a lot of essays on there. If you want to call them essays. Essay. And, so it was like, well, why are you doing it? If you're not looking, if you don't care if people see it, then why even do it? Well, there's the fear factor that goes into it. You have to understand the mechanics of what it is that I do on a daily basis. And even what I do with my work and my business and my life and my religion is, it's all about facing fear, pushing yourself through, doing the things that are scary, and even to the point where staring face to face with death, allowing yourself to feel that kind of fear. Like, I'm not making out of this one alive. Oh, fuck. I think I just fucked up. Like, that's a good feeling. That's how you know you really succeeded, or that's how I know I really succeeded. If I can look at something and say to myself, oh, I fucked up. Oh, fuck. Did I fuck up? Oh my God, what did I do? Oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, they're gonna come and get me, they're gonna fucking put me away. Oh my God. Oh my God, that was so fucking stupid. What is wrong with you? Oh my God. Oh my God, 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 oh my God. Oh fuck. I'm sorry. I don't mean to be a fucking idiot all the time. Fuck. What the fuck is wrong with me? Shit. Oh. What was that about? No, that was real. That was actually happening. Oh, fuck. Yes. So... we're at a labyrinth. This is called a labyrinth. I'm assuming that you've never watched all of these. They're not really in any kind of particular order. I just fucking upload them. whenever I feel like it. Sometimes I batch like 4 or 5 of them at a time, so I don't know where in any kind of time frame or sequence. It doesn't fucking matter. They're like fucking 2 hours long. People are sitting through these things for 2 hours. Hey, go for it. Appreciate it. So I was just recording earlier today. And I was talking about this situation I'm going through with Hugo Boss and how I've been on this back and forth over some compensation issues over the past, well, from October to February, and then the last 2 weeks of April. So that over the course of that time frame, that's about what you have right there is 4 3/4 months. So over the course of that time, there were some compensation issues. They were kind of taking advantage of the fact that I was supposed to be ignorant to specific corporate policies that would have called upon them to pay me more money than what they were paying me. But because I was ignorant to the policies, that kind of put them in a position where they didn't have to pay me. But because of the people I know and the things that I know that they don't know that I know, it put me in a position where I had to really consider, like, oh wow, they're exploiting, they're taking advantage, they're doing something wrong. Now, something else about me is I don't like corporations. I'm one of those types of people that think corporations, not all corporations are evil, but that corporations, they'll fuck you if you allow them to. And I allowed them to. And the reason I kept on allowing them to was because I wanted to see how far it was going to go. And then it had just gotten to a point where, at the very end, those last 2 weeks of April, it had gotten to a point where I actually lost my shit so badly that I lost my voice for a couple days. I have a way of dealing with stress, right? I was saying before, I love stress, I love this, I love that. I love it after it's done. I love it after I get through it. Because what stress represents to me is an opportunity to grow and expand and to see and to open up a perspective that I am not currently able to perceive. Does that make sense? As in, what stress allows me to do, like right now we're looking at that tree from this perspective. So now, like, just as an example, like going through like some heavy duty fucking stress that makes you want to fucking blow your brains out. What that then allows is for us to be able to see that tree from the other side. Because the tree looks, we can only see that side of the tree, but if we were to go to the other side of the tree, we can see it from a different angle and then look at it and go, oh, okay, that's a completely different tree. That's not the same. That's not the same tree we were just looking at. It's the same tree, but it's not the same tree. You know what I mean? So what stress and anxiety and depression and all of these other negatively charged characteristics, emotions, feelings, what they're good for is to help us see things from a perspective that we wouldn't normally see them from. So now to check this out. Right? Let's say you got some issue that you can't figure out. Just take anything in your life right now that you can't figure out. For me, it's money. I can't figure out why it is that I still don't have any money. Why it is that I still only have 27 cents in my bank account. Why it is that I have been challenged in my life to face 42 days without spending any money. And mind you, I'm not, as from the conversation I just had in between the last video that I uploaded and this one, I just found out that not only have I survived 42 days and nights, well, 42 days and 41 nights without spending or investing any money, I'm now going to have to go until Thursday. At the very least, no, fuck it, till next week. Till next week, at least. Maybe even the week after. So I'm looking at another 2 weeks without any money. And I don't have to. That's the thing, is God has told me that I don't have to worry about it. Because that everything that I'm experiencing right now is for the benefit of me in about a month, maybe 2 weeks. There's going to come a point in the near future where I look back on what's happening right this moment, and I am both pleased and grateful that everything played out exactly the way that it has between right now and right then. Mind you, then hasn't happened yet. So how do you know? Because that's the way things work. It's when things seem at their bleakest, which is when it's actually the other way around. Now, not only is this a lesson that we can learn from reading Genesis, but at the same time, this is something that we can learn from our own past experiences, especially if you can deal with the stress and relive the stress and relive all the hatred and anger and fucking anxiety and fear and sadness, and look at everything that brought us to this moment and how everything was always perfectly aligned to bring us to right now. Everything was always happening to our benefit. Everything was always good. Everything that we thought was bad was actually helping us. It was making us stronger. It was making us smarter. It was making us more capable for everything that came afterwards. Because everything that came after that moment wouldn't have happened if not for the shit that we had to go through. I mean, that's how it is for me. I can't speak for fucking nobody else. It just happens to be. I finished a lifelong project yesterday, which was read through the entirety of Genesis. And I did it in a few days. I don't regret it. No fucking regrets on that. Because I got it. I got the message. I got a message. I got a message that seems to be the one message that people fucking overlook. No God. It's not. Don't worry about it. Even like the Jewish scholars say, it don't matter. It don't matter, goy boy. What is the story telling you? What the story is telling me is that when things seem to be at their worst, that's when something miraculous is going to happen. But you have to lose faith. It's just like, you ever read Fight Club? It's not until you got to hit rock bottom. Trust me, I ain't at rock bottom yet. I hit bottom a couple times. No, that's not true. I've hit bottom a couple of times. Well, I've seen bottom. Maybe I've never actually experienced bottom. Or maybe I have and I just haven't realized. Maybe this is bottom. Maybe I've just been fucking crawling around the bottom, trying to extract every piece of wisdom and insight. Because, hey, like I said, my worst days are my best days in disguise. So maybe living at the bottom right now. Do you know what it feels like to have no money, to have 27 cents in your bank account? Your whole family knows. My whole family knows. Like, they're disgusted. Like, what the fuck is wrong with him? Like, is this guy serious? Like, what the fuck is he doing? I don't understand. I got this case with Hugo Boss that they're dragging out. And it is to a point where I feel like I have to go do something. I mean, mind you, I am doing something. This is something. This is all part of my work. Like, talking about this and putting it on public display. Like, do you know how terrifying that really is? But at the same time, though, it's scary, but I do have ambitions. I love the idea of speaking publicly. I like talking to groups of people about how fucking great I am and how smart I am, and encouraging people at the same time. Don't forget to give yourself a pat on the back, kids, because no one else is going to do it for you. So make sure that when you do anything that you feel like you deserve a pat on the back, give yourself a fucking pat on the back. Hey, fuck it. Fuck it. Who the fuck is going to tell you that you don't deserve it? No, I do. Because I just told God I don't give a fuck about the money. Which I feel is like a really powerful statement. I love making that statement. I don't give a fuck about the money. I mean, mind you, money, I love you. Money, I want to make sweet ass love to you and give you a massage, rub you down with exotic oils and spices. Give you a sponge bath and spend you on all the most wonderful, beautiful things that make me smile and get my dick hard. That's how much I love money. But I'm willing to say fuck it and lose all the money Oh, is that what that's called? Is that called going all in? Yeah, I guess that is. Yeah, I guess that's called playing poker. We're playing a fucking, we're having a fucking Chinese standoff. Hi, Chinese stand. I don't know. It's from Big Trouble in Little China. There's a part with Jack Burton and Egg Shen. They're in Jack's truck and there's a Chinese standoff going off between two opposing gangs. Be very quiet. It's a Chinese standoff. So, I had this intuition this morning. Something to know about me. I play my life based on intuition, feeling, and just, all right, this is what we have to do, this is where we have to go. When I feel I have to do something, I do it. Why? Because it just feels right. If it feels right, go with it. If it feels wrong, hold off. But that's where the confusing thing comes in, because sometimes what feels right starts off as feeling wrong. But by allowing myself to feel that wrong, feel through it, to feel it and go, oh God, this doesn't feel right. What'll end up happening is that energy will neutralize itself and it'll make more sense why I feels off. Yes, that's something I need to do, but first I need to analyze it a little bit more. So, this morning I've been going back and forth with these fucking guys for 3 months. 3 months. Right? It was April 25th. Yeah, so about 3.5 months. 3 months, 3.25 months. 3.25 months. And mind you, it was simple. It was very simple. You didn't pay me for this. You didn't pay me for that. You didn't pay me for this. If you can't pay me for that, show me why. I want to see proof as to why you can't. I don't want to be told, we just can't. Why? Why? Because if I can do it, why can't you pay me for it? You had no problem having me do it. But if you're going to make me do the work, why are you not going to pay me for the work? And it's not my problem that the previous manager, not my problem that he's not there anymore. Not my problem that he didn't tell me about these things. But I hear things, I know things. We all know what I know at this point. You allowed me to do the work. And you wanted to get away with not paying me to do it. That isn't good. It's great. It's fantastic. That's actually the best. And here's why. Because now I know what you're capable of doing. You're going to give me an opportunity where I can go, okay, you know what? I got a thing against corporations. And this corporation is doing exactly what I think corporations do. So what would the average person do? The average employee. What does the average employee do when they get fucked over? They walk out, they leave, they stomp their feet, and they go get another job. Yeah. Yeah, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna get my fucking money. And I'm gonna flush everyone's head down the fucking toilet that gets in my fucking way. Because by the time I'm fucking done with you, whether I get the money or not, I don't give a fuck at this point. I could use it, trust me. I could use a pack of cigarettes, I could use a bottle of wine. I could use some fucking food, some food that I buy, some food that I want to buy. Not relying on my mommy to buy me food. But even if I get nothing, even if I just literally lost my chance at anything, because there's going to be at least one person who's going to read what I wrote and go, yeah, that's not going to happen. But, alright, I know exactly who that is. But there's going to be at least one other person who reads what I wrote and goes, alright, fine, fuck it, give it. Because the amount of money that you're going to have to pay this lawyer anyway, because me and him are going back and forth like we're best buds. But I had this intuition this morning, and it was over some retro pay, some controversial retro pay that I believe I'm owed for some work I did from October to February. So 4.5 months worth of work. And mind you, it's not a lot. It's $1.36 per hour. But I have about 800 hours clocked. 4.5 months. That's Hold up. 4.5 months. We'll do the exact math. Bruh. And we're not gonna get into all the overtime and all that other bullshit. Just gonna do very simple stuff. So 4.5 months. That's about 16 weeks. 18 weeks. About 18 weeks. 18 times. I was averaging about 45 to 50 hours, so we'll just do 45. That's 810 hours. That's probably a lot less because I was working 7 days a week some weeks. Sometimes 21 days straight was the most I ever worked, 14 days straight, 18 days straight, shit like that. So 810 hours at the bare minimum. We're probably closer to 850. Not all of those are straight time either. So that would be... So basically we're probably looking at about $1,000, maybe $1,100. It's not a lot of money. Especially at $1. But I mean, granted, mind you, at $1.46 now. Did I say $1.36 or $1.46? This is $1.46. That's the manager's stipend. So I was paid to manage the operations of this store and train employees, give people, make the schedule, send people on lunch, call people into work on their days off. You know, do all the return. Anytime a customer had an issue, to deal with that, to deal with the district manager, anytime he had a fucking question about anything. And mind you, I wasn't the manager. He wanted to make me the manager. He offered me the job as the manager. But that would require me moving to Lancaster, and I looked at it this way. If I'm meant to move here, then a place will find me. I won't have to look for it. But I'm going to keep on helping you guys out because I have my own business. I have my own job that I'm doing. And yeah, they just wanted to get somebody in there. That's all it was. But this morning I had an intuition, and it told me, because we had come up with an agreement on money last week, the lawyer and I. How does X amount of dollars sound? Yeah, that's pretty much about where I was at. So this morning, it just kind of hit me. I'm like, you know what? I don't think it would be fair. It's not fair that I keep on ignore this. I've asked the question, and nobody's given me an answer. Why is it? So when I was there, I was eligible for what's called a key holder stipend, which means I was holding a key. I was a key. I had the only key to the store. So it was my responsibility to be there every single day to make sure that the store was opened. Because, again, I was the only person with the key. And I only had like maybe 2 other employees that were working there full and part-time. So I had some days where nobody would show up, and I would be in the store by myself, but I would get stuff done. I would do work. It's not like I would just sat around jerking off all day. Like, I actually got some things done because I realized that the condition of the store was the reason why there was nobody working in the store. So it was incumbent upon me to put myself out there and fix the store in a way that it was presentable enough that people would want to work there. You know what I mean? So over the course of those 4 months, not only was I doing all the managerial stuff in the front, but I was also doing, and the back office stuff, but I was also doing the organizational work as well, which was reorganizing the stock. This place was a shithole. But, so my time was always full. I mean, there was times I even volunteered to stay. I volunteered to not take my time off, my 2 days off, if it was even possible. I would volunteer to not take my days off so I can get extra work done. Because once in a while, we would be able to bring in other employees from other stores, once in a blue moon. And my thought process was, okay, we're gonna have her and we're gonna have him working in the front. This will actually open me up so I don't have any distractions and I can just focus solely on the back for maybe not a whole day, but maybe 6 hours, 5 hours, which will get me ahead. And it was perfect. It was perfect. Absolutely perfect. It actually made me feel good because what I realized was, hey, I'm putting together a Hugo Boss store. I'm literally re-engineering a Hugo Boss store. All based on intuition. I was just letting my intuition guide me. Every morning I'd go in, hey, Uncle Hugo, what do you want us to do today? And Uncle Hugo, I would just let the feelings guide me. So, and eventually that's literally what happened. Like, the store was so perfectly organized, not perfectly organized, but it was organized enough. Everything was looking so fucking good that people finally started getting hired. And so I helped train the staff, get everybody on the right mindset, and boom. I was finally able to go home. Because here's the thing, I want to come home. I don't want to I'm not, my life isn't meant to work for Hugo Boss. Maybe I'll own Hugo Boss after all this. But, not the only one who's laughing at that. That's called embarrassment. If you have to retire, if you have to resign because of it, I don't fucking feel bad. So this morning I got an intuition that told me, talk to the lawyer, bring up to the lawyer the manager stipend. Because that's the way it works. If there's not a manager in a store, typically the person who's running the store is given what's called a manager stipend. Because they're basically taking on the role of the manager. They're the acting manager on duty. MOD. And that's what it's called, manager on duty. And the key holder is probably the lowest level MOD. A key holder is, besides the assistant manager and the store manager, the key holder is the only other employee that can manage the store while there is no manager or assistant manager to do the job. Now, sometimes what will happen is you might have a key holder and there's no managers. So what the company will do, they'll compensate you and give you an additional stipend called the manager stipend. It's $1.46. A key holder stipend's $1. It's not a bad gig, but you do have the added responsibility because you are the one you got to do the money. You are responsible for the money. You are responsible for the store. You are responsible for the employees in the store. So there's a lot of responsibility that comes along with that. And anytime there's fucking customers who have got a fucking problem, inventory, it's a lot. So I was told, well, you weren't eligible. I was told like a few weeks, maybe about a month ago. I brought it up again to HR. I'm like, yeah, well, what's going on with this? Like, I brought it up and nobody's answering me. Oh, well, you weren't eligible for it because you were technically a temp employee. Technically means we were just taking advantage of you. We were exploiting the fact that we were exploiting you so that we didn't have to pay you an extra $1.46 an hour. Fucking serious? Gotta cut costs. So I realized this morning, like, okay, so we have an agreement, but I still haven't been told why I'm not eligible, because my question was this. That's fine. If it's because I was a temp, seasonal employee, I get it. That makes sense. But why is it that I was eligible for the key holder stipend, but not the manager stipend? Crickets. So this morning, like I said, I got this feeling. I know I'm going to hear from the lawyer soon, but something told me I got to bring this up. So I wrote I guess for me, a fairly brief email, just going, hey, listen, I know that, thank you for all the help. Because I appreciate the fuck out of it. I appreciate that this guy is actually getting me results instead of just either no response, sorry for the delayed response. You're not sorry. Stop saying sorry. Stop saying sorry. Like, why are we delayed? Like, why have I not even been paid yet? Like, you haven't even paid me you haven't even compensated me for the what I had to put out for the hotel. Like, come on. Like, I even told Lloyd, I feel like this is getting personal. So I actually made it personal today. Nah, I didn't make it personal. Well, he's the one who's in the position, so yeah, it should come from him. So I wrote the lawyer and was just kind of like, hey, thanks for the help. But there is one thing. There is the issue of the manager stipend. No one has answered this question yet, and that's concerning to me. It's concerning to me because it's leaving me to have to come up with my own conclusions as to why the company isn't responding to me. What I believe what I believe is that maybe they're not answering my question because they just want me to get tired of asking. And or maybe they just don't want to give me the answer. Because if they did, if it turns out that they do, if it turns out that they are required to pay me for that time, it'll probably be an HR nightmare to dig out all of my hours from that time period. Not to mention that certain employees of the company are probably going to have to answer questions that either they don't know the answer to or that they don't want to answer. At this point, you know how fucking scary it is doing that shit? Thanks, Moses. I fucking knew that was going to happen too. I started reading Exodus last night, and I got up to about the ninth plague of Egypt. And I'm looking at, he's telling the story, like, the Exodus is my story of Hugo Boss. And as I'm fucking reading this, I had no idea that Moses was fucking scared shitless. The dude was shitting his pants. He didn't want to do it. He was begging God. I didn't know that Moses was so scared to stand up to Pharaoh. Like he actually begged God. He's like, listen, can you get somebody else to do this? I don't want to do it. I am not a smart man. I'm a little bit slow. I don't have the talking skills. And God's like, Tag, you're it. And then he even said to him, he's like, all right, this is what you're going to go do. This is what I want you to go say to Pharaoh. But he's not going to get into it. He's actually, I am going to harden his heart, and he's going to resist. But that's a good thing. That's a good thing. Because it's going to give me the opportunity to really demonstrate my power. and that's what happened. Moses went to Pharaoh. He laid down. He's like, you will let my people worship me. And it's going to be a 3-day journey into the woods. Pharaoh's like, oh, fuck yourself. What the fuck is this asshole? Hey, take a hike. Hey, guy, beat it. So then Moses is going to go back to God. He's like, yo, don't worry. All right, here's what I want you to do. I want you to go back, and now I want you to say this. Moses is like, I don't want to say that. I don't want to, no. You got to do it. You have to. Fine, fuck it. So Moses goes back, and then he does the next thing. Pharaoh's like, yo, nigga, I got magicians who do the same shit. Fuck out of here. These fucking Jews, they ain't going nowhere. I mean, granted, fucking Moses is walking in there with fucking a 10-foot dick. Because you realize, like, the fucking Jews, they're the work that Pharaoh has them doing. Not only that Pharaoh can't stand the fucking Jews. He thinks that they're fucking, they're multiplying like fucking cockroaches. He cannot fucking stand them. So he's like creating these unfit labor situations for them. He's just making it intentionally difficult for them, more difficult than it should be. He's taking supplies away from them, but making them have to go get the supplies on their own. Like, it's just like this, like, what the fuck, dude? So, but still requiring that they have to, oh my god, this is so Hugo Boss. Still requiring that they have to meet their quota by the end of the day. Every single day. So, but you gotta think of it too, and I understand from Pharaoh's position, because one, this work has to get done. Two, if the Jews take a day off, that's one thing. All the Jews. That's one thing altogether. You're talking about the women, the children, and the men. Young and old. But now you're telling me that it's a 3-day journey into the fucking wilderness. So let's just say it's 3 days gone. You got day number 4. Let's say day number 4 is the day of worship. Then you got 3 days back. That's 1 whole week that labor is going to be fucking postponed. Just do it here. And Pharaoh did eventually say it. Like, just fucking do it here, man. But then Moses brings up points. Like, listen, the shit that we have to do, you Egyptians are going to fucking stone us to death. No. We're going out into the wilderness. See, but now here's my thought. I haven't gotten to the rest of it. God knew that Pharaoh was going to be a ball buster on this one. He said it. Even when the plagues started, the frogs, the fucking locusts, the water turning to blood, smelling like a fucking shit sewer. Pharaoh backed the fuck down. Go, whoa. Okay. Take it back. You guys can go. Just get God off my ass. And as soon as Moses would go and pray to God, be like, oh, okay, Pharaoh agreed. God, nah, watch. I'm gonna harden his heart. Pharaoh's ego would fucking flare back up. Fuck this shit. No. Absolutely not. I would probably imagine that first it was the fear of God that laid into him. And then afterwards, he probably presumed and gave the credit to his magicians. Because he had magicians at the same time that were kind of replicating the miracles that Moses was presenting. Like Moses would throw his fucking staff on the ground, turn it into a serpent. But then his magicians would come and go, fuck you, we can do the same thing. They were calling his bluff, basically. So I think that's probably what was going on. It's like God was like making these calamities take place, but then as soon as they would be reversed, I have a feeling that the magicians were probably like, yo, we did that. I did that. Welcome. Yeah, I can do that too. Alright. So, this is exactly what I'm feeling with fucking Hugo Boss. It's just like, I get results like, oh, okay, all right, this is what we're gonna do. This is how we're gonna handle it. But then nothing. It goes dead silence, radio silence. And I know, and I've mentioned this before. Like I know that I'm not like I'm not the king of the castle, or they don't see me as the king of the castle, so they don't prioritize this. Mind, they could have. This is 3 months. This is 3 months. You still haven't even paid me for the fucking hotel, bruh. But the fact that so what they settled on was they're gonna pay me for my hotel. All right, cool, thank you, appreciate it. They're gonna pay me for my 22 hours of travel time. Thank you. Well, because of a technicality. Yeah, the technicality was that your district manager never took me off the fucking payroll, and I flipped over into a full-time employee. All right, fine, fuck it. Technicality indeed. Even though you should have been fucking paying me for it regardless of whether it was technical or not. That's called the right thing to do. Fucking corporate knob. And then they're going to give me the manager stipend, but not for my time at the Lancaster store. They'll give me the manager stipend for the other store. Which I guess, yeah, that's fair, but that's not what I was asking for. I appreciate it though. Cool. Yeah, no problem. Absolutely. I'll take it. So, like I said, I emailed the lawyer this morning because I had this intuition. Just something told me, you got to do this right now. And I have it, it's in my journal. I was actually writing about something else, and then just out of the blue, it just fucking hit me. I'm like, I got to do this right now. I was even psyching myself up. Like, what are you afraid of? What are you afraid of? I'm afraid that this is going to lead to me not getting the money. All right, well, that's exactly why you got to go do it now. Go. All right. No, that's what I did. I emailed the lawyer about the thing. I was like, hey, listen, I want an answer. Like, why was I eligible for the key holder stipend but not the manager stipend? So if you could, I'd really, I appreciate you getting me a legitimate response and any documentation to back it up. Official documentation. I don't know, just something's telling me to like go that route, like to take it this hard. Like I feel like it's my obligation to do so. So then I came out here, I did my walk, I went back, and then I had an email from the lawyer. Hey, I was just about to email you. Due to the fact that this has been a back and forth for as long as it has been, the company would like you to sign a release agreement in exchange for payments. I had a feeling they were going to want something signed. I had a feeling. And it's okay, because I looked into what a release statement is, a release agreement. A release agreement, first I intuited what it was, and then I went and Googled it, and yeah, it's exactly what I thought it was, which is basically, in exchange for that payment, I release the company of any other future financial obligations. As in, I won't pursue any further legal action against them. Totally fine. Absolutely. I agree with that 100%. I just want what's mine. I want what I should be compensated for. That's it. I don't give a fuck about anything else. If they want to cover their ass like that, I'm okay with it. But now here's the problem. Here's the thing about problems. A problem is a problem from only one perspective. Remember we were talking about with the tree? Right? Let's say that tree is our problem. That tree is a huge fucking problem. But now, if we take the time to walk to the other side of that tree and look at it from a different perspective, it's no longer a problem. It's actually a solution to another problem. So, the problem is that they want me to sign some shit. They want me to sign a binding contract. Basically saying that once we pay you, you cannot sue us ever again. That's the basics that I would have presumed it was going to say. Okay? But now, here's the problem. Here's the other problem. Here's a problem. Here's a problem. Well, I guess that's the solution. That's a good solution. Is that once you pay me, I don't want nothing to fucking do with you again. Unless you're going to give me a job and you're actually going to pay me right this time. Motherfucker. But now here's what's going through my head is if the company is preemptively taking action to prevent me from seeking further compensation, then that tells me that the company recognizes that they have a vulnerability that needs to be patched up in regards to my situation. Meaning, it's a good fucking thing that I sent that email this morning, because what that email tells me, what the lawyer's email tells me, is that release agreement, that's the company saying, hey, before he realizes that we owe him more shit, Let's get him to sign this. This way it's, boom, cut and dry. No problem. I'll sign your document in exchange for a few concessions. And mind you, you get to pay attention to the wording. Pay attention to the wording. The company would like you. Alright. If I say that I have to. Now mind you, I'm not going through a court. I want to see if I can pull this off without having to get the law involved. I believe that at this point, I've proven to myself that we can take care of this shit without having to go to court. But this time, I don't know if that's going to be possible. I mean, I honestly, I believe it's not impossible that I just completely fucked everything. And I'm okay with that if I did. Because I might actually go home and masturbate. I might go home and jerk off to myself. Just because of the balls. The chutzpah, the bravado. If you want my personal opinion, I mean, and this is just the man in me talking, is whether this succeeds or not, whether this negotiation, because that's what this is at this point. Now we're negotiating. This is cool. I've never done this before. But whether my negotiation skills are as dope as I think they might be, as dope as I think they are, because I think I just fucking home run with one hand. This is so blowjob worthy. I haven't had a blowjob in fucking so long that I would say that this earned me one. That even God, Him and herself, are looking down from the heavens, looking back from the future, going, "You earned it. The kid earned it. You can't deny it. Get him one. This was badass. This was some badass shit." So what did I say? I said, yes, I will do it. But if you want me to sign that, I want to get fully compensated for all my time in Lancaster. All the manager stipend. For all the time. I want that, and considering how long this has been going on for, considering all of the mental and emotional stress that I've been having to deal with because of the fact that this has been dragged out for over 3 months, I want to be compensated for the past 3 months at my average weekly pay. From April 25th to today, August 8th. I don't give a fuck if it's a Tuesday. I don't give a fuck if it's a partial week. To today. And, just as the fucking cherry on top, I want a fucking signed apology from Kieran, the vice president. Then we got a deal. I'll sign it like that. As soon as I have a moment to review it, of course. Now in my head, mind you, there's like shit going on in my head. Delusions of grandeur. But as we were saying earlier about, like, you have to embody it. What you see is the future. You gotta fucking embody that shit. You gotta be it. Thinking happy thoughts and pretending that bad things don't happen. That's just one step. You have to actually be the motherfucker who gets the shit that you're looking to bring into your life. Because, one, God is watching. The universe is watching. You can't have something if you aren't the type of person who would have that thing. Does that make sense? Certain people can have certain things in their life because they are the type of person that can handle that thing. Now, mind you, I could be overstepping. I could be totally lowballing myself, and I recognize that. 3 months of pay, 3 months of back pay. That could be nothing. Could be way too much. They could tell me to go fuck myself. Which is very possible. They could just be like, fuck this, we ain't doing shit. You ain't gonna go to a lawyer? Fine, fuck you. Have you fucked? I could have just flushed the 1100 down toilet. Why? Just because I wanted to fucking flash my dick around. No, that's not what I saw. That's not how I see it, though. And that's the cool part, is like I don't see it that way. The way I see it is we're negotiating right now. They want to get by with just kind of, alright, here, get this idiot out of here. Don't bother us anymore. Mind. No problem. But this is what I want. And I'm gone. We're good. I mean, I'm willing to concede. I'm willing to not take anything. But the fact that I even got this far, the fact that I went there and they say, you know what? It's possible that they were setting me up for that. That's not impossible. I mean, I like to think I'm smart, but I also like to think that people can't outsmart me. I forget that people can't outsmart me. So, it's really possible that a fucking 100-year-old corporation that has thousands and thousands of employees, it's definitely possible that they were setting me up to fail, and I fucking took the bait like a fucking idiot. But then again, don't ever sell yourself short. Did I mean everything I said? 100%. 99.998%. I don't like to say 100% of anything, because I don't think that 100% of anything ever is a thing. You always got to leave wiggle room for the Holy Ghost. So now we're going to see, because the lawyer's going to be out of the office until Thursday. So we're going to see if we're going to see what happens. I'm going to get a response. What the response is, at this point, I don't know. But see now, why did you even go that far? Like, if you already had it, why did you push the limit? Why did you push it? Because I felt like it was the right thing to do. And even if it backfires and it blows up in my face, right? What does that mean? Define that. Define it. So what I mean is, like, what I mean when I say it backfires and blows up in my face is, even if this turns out that I get nothing at this point, now they just tell me to go fuck myself. Don't just cease and desist at this point. You get nothing. Good day, sir. Even if that were to happen. not saying I just trolled a fucking $2 billion a year company, but I did draw a big dick on their forehead while they were passed out. Go fuck yourself. Just like with Moses and Pharaoh, right? Going back to that, keep in mind, Moses wasn't meant to win. He wasn't meant to win the argument. And you know what's funny? This is actually really interesting. This is really cool. Talk about synchronicities. I love synchronicity. I've been watching Star Wars Rebels for the past couple weeks, just as like to further my own Jedi training. Jedi training. A Jedi isn't defined by a lightsaber. There's more to it than that. It's a philosophy. It's a way of being. It's a spiritual way. It's a perspective, but it's also a degree of mental and emotional durability that the average person can't achieve. It's pushing yourself to limits and facing fears that not only would the average person not want to go there, but if they did, they might actually crack under the pressure. It's about not giving up, even when the odds are completely stacked against you. You say fuck it and still go head first. Someone's got to fucking do it, because the way I look at this is the shit that this company pulled. And maybe I shouldn't be blaming the company. Maybe I really should be blaming the people. But the shit that happened, I was going to say the shit that happened to me, the shit that happened for me, because this happened for me. I'm not a victim. I'm not a victim. This is a huge opportunity. This is like the best opportunity ever. This is a learning experience. This is an experience to do something that very few people will ever have the opportunity to do. To stand up to a fucking global corporation, a one-man operation. Now, mind you, I do have my own company. I have my own entity. I do have my own entity. And my entity knows entities. I can't speak for nobody else's entity, but I know that my entity is alive. It's intelligent. And it has a spirit, soul. My essence is in that company. So yeah, it gives me a little bit of a nigga, because I'm the boss. This is an opportunity to life happens for you, it doesn't happen to you. This shit happened for me, it didn't happen to me. It happened for me so that I could exercise my own boss energy, my big dick energy. BDE. You want to be a fucking boss? You better figure out what the fuck being a boss looks like, what it feels like. This feels like being a fucking boss. Showing up. Being a boss is going to someone else's employees. Because these people I'm dealing with, they're just employees. and reminding them, be mindful who the fuck you're fucking with, motherfucker. I think I'm taking it fucking easy. Hey, take it easy. Hey, take it easy when you're talking to me, eh? Okay? And just because you get a corporate salary doesn't mean jack shit to me. I don't give a fuck about what your name tag says. The only reason you're not working for me is because I'm not going to pay you what they pay you. I'll pay you in hugs and kisses. How about that, dipshit? That doesn't sound like the way a godly man would talk. My God's not the same as the other gods. All the other gods are an aspect of my God. My God is my higher self, my future self. Who's been guiding me since I was a wee little man pup. I remember him. I used to call him Future Derek. Future Derek would come to me and tell me that everything was going to be okay. Everything was working out exactly the way that it was meant to. I never believed in God. I believed in Future Derek. Future Derek had learned, had telepathic abilities, and was capable of communicating with the past. The present moment is the past when in conjunction with the future, from the perspective of the future. Just like right now, the present moment is the future from the perspective of the past. Like we can go back and we can go back and communicate with the past. Like right now in my mind, I'm going back. I was doing this the other night. I was just doing this last night. To the moment when I was writing that email, going, you got this. All you gotta do is hit send. You win as soon as you accepted a challenge. Because what did you learn from these people so far? They're fucking cowards. Rather than deal with the situation face to face, mano a mano, they called a lawyer. They called the principal. But they had better things to do. No, they didn't. Nah, they didn't. This should have been number one fucking priority from the moment I fucking brought it up. They fired me because I brought it up. The day after I sent some fairly aggressive emails, my email account was turned off, my access to the server was cut off, everything was cut off. I knew that. I had a feeling that was gonna happen. I mean, when I go hard to do some shit like this, like I'm gonna burn all the bridges. I don't want to go back. But I also want to test the waters. I want to see how far I can go. I want to see what I'm capable of. I made it this far. All of this happened to me for a reason. My past self had enough foresight to set me up for the future right now so that I could do this. And if I wasn't supposed to do exactly what I did, then it would not have happened. In that, I wouldn't have the opportunity to do it. Because if the opportunity to do it, to stand up, because yeah, you know what, the money sounds cool. What the fuck do I need money for right now? Made in the shade. I got peanut butter and jelly. I got some soup at home. I got pasta. I got chicken. I'm good. I'm good right now. And something I've learned over the past months and years is that even when you don't feel like you're good, don't worry. Go ahead, worry. Go ahead, worry. Because as soon as you're done worrying, that's when that thing's gonna happen. So go ahead, get it out of your system. Just panic, worry, shit your pants. Take all the doo-doo. Because you got this. Like I said, even if I don't get the money, the fact that I even got to say what I said, priceless. Absolutely fucking priceless. And maybe because I feel, and you know what, maybe the reason I decided to go as hard as I did this time, because I feel like I went hard. You're going to give me everything we agreed on. You're going to give me this. You're going to give me 3 months worth of pay. And I want a signed apology from that nigga right there. It was worth it to give up an $1,100 check for that. Probably $800 after taxes. It's totally fucking worth it. Because you know, coming back to Moses, we ain't done with that shit yet. Everyone knows one of the criteria of being the Moshiach is that you have to be able to teach the Torah. I don't need no Talmud. The more I'm learning about the Talmud, the more that I'm starting to realize how that's a whole other thing. Moses was scared shitless. He killed an Egyptian for beating a Jew. And he got busted. He ran. He saw an Egyptian beating a Jew. And he killed the fucking guy. And he buried him in the desert. And the next day, he saw 2 Jews beating the shit out of each other. And he goes, oh, whoa, what the fuck is wrong with you guys? What are you doing? You're brothers. Who the fuck made you king? What the fuck are you to come to us and fucking say what the fuck is up? Fuck out of here. Aren't you the nigga that fucking killed that dude? Don't be fucking talking shit on us. He shit his pants. He got the fuck out of there. Then he found some pretty shepherd ladies. Helped them water their sheep. Got married. A kid. Then God came to him. It was like, your people are fucked. They need you. Gotta go back. Oh, fuck. And mind you, the way I'm looking at this is like, this is all prep work. I'm going back to something I was talking about earlier today about generational curses, but also generational blessings. Like, when we look at Joseph, who brought the Jews to Egypt in the first place. For a good portion of his story, it seemed like he had a string of bad luck. Bad fortune was falling on him. And that would make sense because of the fact that he fucked over his brother and took blessings that weren't his, but... Oh, no. I'm sorry. I'm thinking of his dad, Jacob. But Joseph had been through some shit before he was put in charge as the fucking COO of Egypt. But considering everything that his bloodline had been through since the very creation of Adam and Eve, like, it was like the build-up, one build-up after another, after another, after another, after another, after another. And of course, like, the final prize would be the second in command of Egypt. You get to bring your people there. You get to be the hero of the story. But then after he dies, new Pharaoh doesn't know who the fuck Joseph is. He don't give a fuck. The fuck are all these Jews doing here? That's where Moses gets involved. Moses was scared shitless. Moses didn't want to fucking have to be the one to do it. Mind you. I'm not saying that's not the case with me. I have been hesitant. There is a bit of reluctancy in what I've been putting myself through by standing up to the company like this. But at the same time, it feels good. It doesn't feel bad. It does not feel bad. Not entirely. It's scary, but the cool thing about doing the scary thing is that, oh my god, fear is so empowering. Real personal empowerment, individual empowerment, oh god, it's fear. You have to face your fear. You have to go through the fucking dark tunnel. You gotta do what Luke was afraid to do. You know how Luke went into the cave in Dagobah, but he brought his lightsaber with him? I gotta go watch Star Wars Rebels. So Star Wars Rebels, there was an episode that I was watching last night. It's called The Last Battle. And Ezra, Kanan, and Rex and Chopper, they go to this planet to collect like bombs or some shit. And they end up the captives of these Clone War troopers. Clone War droids? Protocol droid? Not protocol droids. Oh my god. A leftover remnant of droids from the Clone Wars who have been spending the last like 10, 15 years playing battle games, war games. And because a clone trooper, a Jedi, and a Jedi apprentice, a Padawan, all ended up in their getting captured by them, they saw it as a prime opportunity for them to play one last war game and officially end the Clone Wars. It's actually pretty amazing how the Force brought all of them together. Pretty divine timing. Because what ended up happening was Ezra, Kanan's Padawan, he's the one who ended it because he saw something that everyone else is missing. He saw this piece of logic that wasn't connecting with anybody else. And he goes, so who won the Clone Wars? I mean, everybody recognized that the war itself had been over for a while. But what was the final outcome? The Republic lost, but then so did the Separatists, who were fighting against the Republic, that became the Empire. So who was the victor, after all? Going against logic. Well, the point was that nobody was meant to win. I guess you call that zero sum? The Sith won. The Sith, the one player in the game that wasn't even supposed to exist. They weren't even supposed to be real. They were supposed to make believe. Don't forget, I'm a fucking witch. By trade, by blood, and by profession. And religion. We don't exist. The heir of the Nephilim, we don't exist. The serpent seeds, we don't exist. We're make-believe. We're myths and legends. Just like the Sith. That's why myths and legends. A myth is what won the fucking Clone War. Everybody else was getting played. Because nobody was meant to win. And now keep in mind also, like, there was people on both sides who thought that they were fighting the good fight. There were separatists who really believed that they were fighting against the corrupt Republic. And the Republic thought that it was fighting, there were aspects of the Republic that thought that it was fighting against separatists. So there was people who really believed in what was going on. When Palpatine ended up taking power and reforming the Republic into the Galactic Empire, there's people who diehard believers in what Palpatine was doing. They really believed that the Jedi were traitors, and for all intents and purposes, they were. Because you have to consider the fact that the Jedi are the sworn enemies of the Sith. Just because the Jedi didn't know that the Supreme Chancellor was a Sith, that doesn't excuse them from the fact that, by technicality, they were traitors to the Republic and had to be wiped out. It's kind of like, let's just say that some guy, right? His plan was to take over a company. Big company. But that'd be almost impossible. Especially just a regular guy who, one, doesn't know shit about shit. Guy who's actually just a fucking part-time seasonal sales associate. But let's just say that guy, the reason he took that job in the first place was just to get his foot into the door. He didn't give a shit what the fuck came out of it. But he knew that the only way to take over that company was to at least get his foot into the door to some capacity. And even if that was just as a seasonal sales associate, who, for all intents and purposes, not only is the lowest man on the totem pole, but gets absolutely no respect, actually gets disrespected by other employees, and takes it with a smile. Thank you, sir. Can I have another? Please, bring it on. Give me a nudge. Slap me around. Did you just tell me that you give good hand jobs? Did you just say that you have a big black dick? Did you just say that I'm giving you dirty thoughts? I love it. Did you just use emotional manipulation on me? Did you? Did you try to convince me that we were friends so that I would do what you want me to do? Only to turn your back on me after you got everything you wanted out of me? Did you do that? You sly dogs. Wait a second. Did you just say that if I got you fired, you'd come to my house? Why? Why would you come to my house? Are you implying that you were going to hurt me? Teach me a lesson for not keeping my mouth shut? Is that what just happened? Oh boy. Did you just tell me that if I wanted to keep my job, I better start lying? I love Hero Boss. Hugo's Boss. That's the official title I gave myself. Hugo's Boss. Fucking rat. Here's some cheese, rat. Rats rule, motherfucker. I highly recommend Darth Plagueis. Star Wars Darth Plagueis. It's a book about the Sith Lord who trained Darth Sidious. It's fucking amazing. The dark side of the Force is dark side of the Force is a pathway to many abilities that some would consider to be unnatural. But let's just say that this guy finally got in. Say Hugo's Boss finally weaseled himself into a position where he had all of upper management by the fucking balls. Or that he believed that he had been in that position. Two ways though. Both ways. They don't realize it, but he's already suspected that they had him by the balls at the same time. See, when it comes to winning and losing, people have this tendency, like people don't want to see themselves lose. It's bad for morale. Because if you see yourself lose, you're putting that out into the universe and you're going to bring it onto yourself. Sometimes. My philosophy is a little bit different. My magic's a little bit different. This is where dealing with stress, anxiety, this is where that shit comes really into play. How can you see yourself win if you can't see yourself lose? How can you win if you're not willing to lose? By the company proposing a release agreement, which again, essentially means that I'm releasing them from any further responsibility, financial responsibilities. By even proposing that, they gave themselves up. In the sense that they said, we'll give you what you want. Just please leave us alone. We don't want to lose anymore. Why would you not want to lose? They just want to be done with it. They want to give up. It's fine. So do I. But I want to lose. Play to win. You're bound to lose. You only win so long before you're fucking done. Play to lose. Doesn't fucking matter. Whether you win or lose, give yourself a pat on the back. I don't know. Easy, man. This is the way.
If they go up there, they're gonna be
Hey.
flying around. Hey, Doc, how you doing?
Doing alright. Hey, you guys.
I'm doing good. This is great murderers.
Yeah.
I had a cemetery over here before
Really?
with a bunch of carcasses.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's my sister. Now it's just the leaves that are blowing off.
Yeah.
The storm we had last night.
Now, are the carcasses, were they fucking up any of your plants yet, or no? Were you getting them before they did any damage? Yeah?
Come in, stop them, or else we spray them, or swat them. So, and then I was putting them in the corner, because I didn't want Ziva to be walking on them.
Yeah.
So, and then I was like,
How big are they getting? Are they red yet? Right? Because they go from black with white spots to red, right?
and then after that, they just started to get wings.
Yeah, then they turn into like fucking moths or something,
Yeah,
right?
they're pretty big. We killed like about what, 5? But like one at a time. You haven't seen like a lot.
Right.
They might come up from back there eventually.
Oh, I'm sure. It's like a buffet back there.
That's what I burn it down. But then I burn it off there. They go to jail. They'll be like, "Where's the whole fucking plant?"
Yeah, that's no good. Bugs. Lantern flies, I think they're called. Alright, that's about it.